everybody, today I'm going to be doing a review video, and this is going to be on the Revlon Nearly Naked line. I've seen quite a few reviews pop up, but I thought that I would sort of give my side on these two products here. These are relatively new products from the drugstore. I purchased mine when they first came out about like a month and a half ago. They came out I think towards the end of December or early January, and they're kind of I think Revlon's take on like the Urban Decay Naked line. Everything down to like the font is pretty much the same, which I thought was kind of funny. But this has become my holy grail foundation and powder, and I'll explain why here in just a sec. So I think I'm going to start with the liquid foundation. So this retails for about $7.99. That's about the average that I've seen. You can pick it up obviously at any drugstore. My shade is number 120 Vanilla. The packaging is very simple, very typical of drugstore foundations. It's just got like a rectangular type of glass bottle and no pump, unfortunately. It's just a screw top that you have to pour out yourself, which, I mean, isn't too big of a deal. I mean, it will allow you to get a lot of the product out. It does have a very sort of like a liquidy consistency. I think that's part of the whole like naked aspect of it. It's not very heavy. It's not like anything really like creamy. It has a really nice blendable texture, which I love. Like, this is the only foundation I found that I really like to use my fingers with, because it makes it just so easy to just smooth over your skin. Usually with foundation, I'm more of like a brush person or a sponge person. I love my beauty blender, and I use those because a lot of the times the foundations just don't seem to blend right when I use my fingers. I always end up getting lines, or they don't smooth over the skin the way I'd like them to. And the cool thing about this foundation is just so easily blendable that if I use my fingers, I get a really great finish. I get great coverage. The coverage of this, I would say, is light medium upon first application. Second application, if you decide to go on with another layer, will give you more of like a medium coverage. I don't think that this is at all going to be your full coverage foundation. However, I mean, it does get pretty close. For me, my biggest skin concern is redness that I tend to get here around my cheeks. I get a little bit between my eyebrows, right around my nose, areas like that, and this covers that up perfectly just with one application. So the coverage of this for me is absolutely perfect. If you have a lot of redness like I do, I think that you'll really benefit from this. As far as covering up like spots, I've been having a few breakouts right around here, and I am wearing this foundation, but I definitely recommend going over those with some concealer. You could build this up a little bit over those, but definitely more of like your concealer if you suffer with a lot of acne problems. But overall, I love this foundation. The wear is really nice. I get at least a good 8 to 10 hours of it. I find that it doesn't get too shiny on me. For being like a nearly naked type of foundation, a lot of times what you get is an extremely dewy finish, which I don't mind because especially right now in the winter I have a little bit more of drier skin, but I don't like a very matte finish where you look completely flat, but at the same time too much shine can be distracting. So what I love about this is it has a really nice sort of satin matte finish. It's not going to go on and dry down to a really dewy emollient type of look. It's just going to be a very natural skin type look. So I really think that Revlon hit the mark with this foundation. I mean, Revlon foundations tend to be amazing in general. I mean, from the Revlon Color Stay to their Photo Ready foundation, which I know a lot of people love. I definitely think that this is a great addition to the line. The shade matches me just about perfectly. I'm about an NC 20 in MAC terms. But yeah, it's just an awesome, awesome product, and I recommend picking this up. It's by far my favorite drugstore foundation I've ever tried. My favorite liquid foundation I've ever tried. It hits so many of the right notes for me. It's just so, 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 so good. So really recommend this. Moving on to the powder. Again, with the packaging, kind of follows the whole like white design. This is the packaging typical of a lot of Revlon powders. The Photo Ready powder is packaged the same. You just open it up. It has like a little circle there, and it has a little sponge here that you can use. Has a nice little mirror right here, so that's nice. It's really handy. I went on a trip a little while back, and that mirror came in handy when I was trying to do touch-ups and stuff just on the go. My shade in this is number 10 Fair. I do think that the powder runs a little bit darker than the name suggests. I think Fair would be great for just all-around light skin tones. If you have extremely, extremely like porcelain skin, this may sort of warm up your skin tone a little bit. I think that the shade Light is more suited towards the darker end of light skin, so more of like your just starting out with like that light medium type of skin tone. And then the next shade, which I think is called light medium, is more suited towards your tan skin tones. Unfortunately, the powder doesn't come in a lot of shades like the foundation does. I think the foundation comes in like 16 shades, and this only comes in 3, which I don't know. I think that's so stupid too, because this is honestly just the best powder I've ever tried in my entire life. And I mean, I have tried everything from Cover FX to MAC Mineralized Skin Finish Naturals, various different drugstore powders. I've tried so many powders, and this is by far my favorite. The texture, I mean, it literally feels like you are putting silk on your face. It just has such an amazing feel to it. It's not chalky, it's not powdery, it doesn't kick up or anything, meaning that when you swirl your brush in it, you're not going to get just powder flying everywhere. There's a little swatch of what that kind of looks like. It is a very sort of light coverage powder. This does add a little bit of coverage to the Nearly Naked foundation. However, it's not going to be anything that if you're looking to really bump up the coverage of foundation, you would probably be interested in. Just because, I mean, it does sort of rub in and smooth out to just a very sort of light type of powder coverage. This does a great job of mattifying. You can apply as much of this as you want and you won't look cakey, which I love. It really smooths over lines, it goes over pores really well, and it's just awesome. For the price tag, I mean, you really cannot beat this powder, and this line has just impressed me so much. I am totally hooked and I am totally sold, because this has just been the foundation powder I've been using for the past like month and a half, because I just love it so much, and every single time I try to go back to something, I remember how much I love this, and then I'm hooked on this. So if you're looking for a lightweight, good coverage though type of foundation, you're not wanting to spend much, this is the way to go. I do, little side note, I do actually prefer this over the Urban Decay Naked foundation too, which is interesting saying that that foundation is like $30 or $40. I definitely think that this is a lot better. The coverage is better, the feel is better, the wear is so much better. If you can find a shade in the powder that fits you well, I definitely recommend going for it. Unfortunately, deeper or very ebony type skin tones won't probably be able to find something from the powder range that they can use, which I said is extremely unfortunate, but they do go quite deep with the liquid foundation. So definitely recommend. For like $8, it is so worth a try. I will be repurchasing this as soon as I run out. Thank you guys for watching this review. If you have any questions, leave it in the comments below. I'll be sure to answer them. The like button as well as the subscribe button, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye-bye.